So at last we can welcome in the 1st of March and welcome in spring, which is very, very exciting. For some people, the 1st of March isn't technically spring. I know a lot of people go off the equinox, which is normally around the 21st of March. But for me, I am slightly desperate for it, so I am definitely here to embrace the springtime. It is a very gentle threshold though this time of year. It's very slow and steady. You know, when you look outside, there's nothing that immediately bursts into bloom. Even the daffodils are still in the process of growing and spurring out their beautiful yellow petals. But there are signs that spring is definitely on its way, which is super exciting. I'm sure we're all feeling the lightness, you know, the lighter mornings, waking up and it's not pitch black, and leaving work and it's still light, which is a real treat, it feels like now. Soon the spring equinox will be here, where the day and the night are equal for the first time this year. And then the clocks will go forward towards the end of March if you're in Britain, which again, to me, these are all massive signals of spring and the arrival of the warmth and the lighter half of the year. Now, I wanted to do a little bit of a spring reset and give my house a good clean. I definitely feel like cleaning is very synonymous with spring, as we all know. But I wanted to make it less of cleaning and more of a bit of a cleansing of the space. It was a very cold day, but I would have loved to have just opened the windows, thrown open the doors, and just let the fresh air flow into the house. I think it's very symbolic of inviting in this new, exciting energy that is just full of potential at this time of year. We're not here to be perfect, you know, we're not here to have a squeaky clean home or a show home, you know, but it's not about perfection. It's definitely about positive intentions though, about making things reflect the seasons, and that is something that I personally really, really enjoy. Now, I don't completely redecorate for spring and for the seasons like I suppose you would for Christmas, but for me, adding touches of spring around the home is it just makes me really happy. If you decorate for spring, or if you put out any spring touches in your home, please let me know in the comments. I'd love some inspiration and just to share some ideas, because I just think it's lovely to reflect the seasons in your home. So a lot of these things I've accumulated over time, over the years, or they've been gifts. So it's really nice for me to bring out the same things every year, kind of similar to Christmas decorations. It brings out those feelings of nostalgia and happy memories. For example, my fiance bought me these beautiful dried flowers for Valentine's Day this year actually, and I'm going to bring them out every springtime and every Valentine's Day just to remind me of the fact that he bought them for me, which I just think is a really lovely tradition. In spring, I really crave softness, florals, pastel colours. I'm sure many of us do, but it really reminds me that we can change with the seasons. As spring starts to get into her flow, as she starts to really blossom and bloom, I definitely feel that we can move with the rhythm of that. I did see someone say that spring doesn't have a gender in the comments, and well, yes, scientifically of course it doesn't, but to me, if spring was to, it would definitely be a she. There's a lot of rebirth, renewal, there's the lambs that are born, all of the blossoms that burst into bloom on the trees. It definitely reminds me of Mother Nature, and it is a really exciting, positive time of year. I couldn't help but admire this beautiful blue and white china when I was out on one of my escapades into a local town. There's just something so quaint and quintessential about it, and really timeless. I think that's why I enjoy it. I know that I'm starting a little bit of a collection of blue and white china in my last video, and it just makes me so happy. I think it's really beautiful and really timeless, and I think in this world of fast-paced trends and fashion and all that kind of stuff, it's so nice to start collecting something that is considered a lot more timeless and that you can, pass down to your children and to your grandchildren. And there's something really beautiful about the continuation of that. So I definitely had an urge this Sunday afternoon to do some baking. I feel like that's a really stereotypical urge to get on a Sunday afternoon, but I haven't been baking for a long time. I haven't baked actually this year, I don't think, which is quite a long time for me. So I'm actually making a lemon and blueberry yogurt cake, which sounds quite bizarre, but basically you add 2 cupfuls of Greek yogurt into the mixture, and oh my gosh, it makes it so kind of like dense, but not as if it's like a fruit cake. It gives it a really nice texture and it's kind of quite creamy. I would definitely recommend you try it. I will leave the recipe that I used in the description box below. But I really wanted something quite refreshing and quite light, which is why I went for the lemon and the blueberry. And I have to say, we did really enjoy it. It was demolished rather quickly in this house. That's probably why I don't bake very often, because there's only 2 of us at the moment, and that means we have to eat it if I bake it. And when you're trying to be healthy, it can be a bit challenging. If you have any spring-related baking recipes that you like to try, please let me know in the comments, because I'm on the hunt for some inspiration. I'm thinking of maybe doing some carrot cake next, potentially. We'll have to see. But what I'm actually doing here, which was a top tip I thought in the recipe, it said to roll so I'm using frozen blueberries, and it said to roll them in some flour because it stops them sinking to the bottom of your bake. And to be fair, it actually worked really well. As you can see there, they kind of look all frosted, but it worked really well. They were lovely and dispersed throughout the bread loaf. So yeah, I can definitely recommend that. So I am actually going to bake this in our wood-powered stove, which will be quite exciting. I do always try and cook something when we have the stove on, because obviously, it's kind of making most of the heat and the energy that is being output. So I'm going to do some baking in there today. One thing with using the stove is obviously it's quite difficult to maintain a consistent temperature. So you kind of have to open and close the oven door as and when it gets too hot or it needs warming up. And you also have to rotate it quite a lot in the oven to make sure that it gets an even bake. So this did take a little while, but I was really chuffed with how it turned out. I was very much pleasantly surprised. One thing that I do really enjoy about baking, and I kind of miss when I don't do it, is how it really makes you slow down and be quite intentional with what you're doing. Now, I appreciate I don't have kids, and I'm sure baking with children is enjoyable in itself, but solo baking, I find it really makes me slow down and concentrate on what I'm doing, because baking is a little bit like homemade chemistry. You've got to be quite precise with all the ingredients, because if things are off, then you could end up with an interesting slab of flour and eggs and sugar on your plate rather than a delicious bake. But there's something so wholesome about taking the time to just slow down, meticulously work through the instructions, and 9 times out of 10, even if it doesn't look perfect, it always tastes good. And to me and to your loved ones, I'm sure that is absolutely what counts, and they will be grateful for the bake. Anyway, that is everything from me. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Stay happy and blessed be.